This is Brian with 3landguys.com, and if you're looking for property near Lake of the Ozarks, I've got a 5-acre property with guaranteed financing that I'm going to show you today. It's really secluded, really private. It would be perfect for a homestead or something off the grid to where you don't want anyone around you and you want your own private piece of property, but you still want to be close to Lake of the Ozarks. So what you're looking at right now is our website, 3landguys.com. We filtered down to Missouri, and we're looking at only Morgan County land. You can see there's 25 total results. There's only about 8 properties left, one of which is this 5-acre right here, available. No restrictions on this property. So just a heads up about Morgan County and how their planning and zoning works and their restrictions. Morgan County themselves do not set restrictions on residential vacant land. What you're going to need to know is whether or not there's a homeowners association where there are what are called deed restrictions. There is no homeowners association here, so there are not any deed restrictions. So this one is great if you want something really private. You can see here, so it actually, I'll show you how to get there. It's a little complex, but you've got a dirt road that comes through a utility easement and then accesses on the south side of the property. So there is legal access here, but you would have to clear all of this through this other person's parcel. Not ideal. This is a cleared dirt road that comes down south and then comes to the front of the property. And you can see there's a lineup of 5-acre properties. This guy actually down here has a little shed cabin down here, and there's nothing on this property. There is a wet weather creek that runs through the property, which is pretty cool too. So here's an idea of where you're at. Here's 5, here's Laurie over here to the right. And then let me get you the map. So you can see here there are 2 different ways to get to the property, and it depends how overgrown off of Nile these paths, these dirt roads are. So these are legal access from the county, but that doesn't mean that it is cleared and you can actually get through. So one is the purple line. So if you see, and I zoom out a little bit, here's TT, and you're looking for Nile Road, which is on the west side of TT. So if you're heading south on TT, you're going to make a right on the Nile, and then you're going to start keeping your eyes out. You're going to start keeping your eye out for a path that heads south. And it could be this purple line, or it could be this yellow line. So we know that this yellow line actually does go through because you've got, see these structures here? So we know that it's possible to get through that way. And then what happens is this, if I zoom out, this is a big utility easement. Now, could you drive directly? Could you drive, if you have 4-wheel drive, could you drive directly along these trees? A lot of people, I think, drive along these trees on this utility easement to come down here and then make a left and come in. Like I said, this is a pretty secluded property. So if you want paved road access and something good to build a single-family home, this property is not for you. This is a very private, secluded property, dirt road access only. So could you do that? Yes, some people do. I've heard of some people that have gone and looked in this area that have just literally just driven down the utility easement. My recommendation, come down T, make a right on Nile Road, and then look to cut across through the trees to the utility easement, and then look for this entrance. I keep zooming in thinking I am. So yeah, so you're going to be looking for the entrance right in here, and it's going to be a dirt road right on this checkered line. And it's going to come down, it's going to loop around, it's going to come down, and then there's going to be a bend. When you get to that bend, you'll see somebody has a structure here. You'll know you're in the right spot. Continue around that bend, head over, head over, head over, head over, and I have the GPS coordinates here. Now you can actually click on these, and you should be able to load the GPS coordinates, or I'll provide you with the GPS coordinates. So that's how you get to this parcel. Like I said, it is very secluded. You've got a wet weather creek that runs through. You might be able to see it. No, let's get a better view. Yeah. Here you go. This is the wet weather creek that kind of runs through. You can see it better on this property here. See how it runs down? So you've got a wet weather creek on the property on the northwest side. Now, if you want to get directions, go ahead and punch in a starting address. So for example, just punch in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Springfield, wherever you're from. Name any city in any part of the continental U.S. It's going to map you right there. Click Get Directions. In a new tab, you are going to have directions. And you can see here you're 3 hours and 15 minutes from downtown St. Louis to Kansas City. 2 hours and 18 minutes from Kansas City. And then we'll do Springfield. And you're 2 hours and 11 minutes from Springfield after you head through Camdenton and head across the lake. So that's about it. That's how to get directions. Let's look at pricing. So we've got this at $3,000 an acre if you're paying on our financing. Now, if you're paying cash, 40% off, $9,000 total, which brings it to just $1,800 an acre, which is a really, really low, probably our lowest, cheapest property on a price per acre basis in Morgan County. This is also the biggest one we have right now. We have sold everything that's larger than 5 acres, unfortunately. So if you're buying on terms, it's guaranteed financing, $1,000 due at closing, monthly payments of $227 a month, and your first monthly payment would be 30 days after you make your down payment. And then those payments would just process each and every month. You could always pay more, no prepayment penalty. You can pay down the property faster if you want to do so. In fact, a lot of times, if you can pay down the property in, say, 12 months, we'll give you the cash price. So we'll give you a big discount the faster you can pay down the property. So bottom line is, you tell us what you have down. You tell us what you can pay monthly. Based on those numbers, we'll give you back a purchase price and we'll move forward. Here's the GPS coordinates over here in case you need help with like TomTom or Garmin or something in that nature. You can see taxes are super cheap, $51 a year. That's literally the price of a coffee every single month for your taxes. Residential, no restrictions. There is no electricity poles that run down that dirt road. Could you get electricity? I'm sure you could, but there would be multiple poles that would have to be put in order to get electricity to the property. So for this property, you would likely need to consider this as a solar or alternative source for your power. Water would be well and septic at the buyer's expense, and the parcel numbers there at the bottom. Now, next steps on this property or any property. If you want to buy one of our properties, we recommend reserving it. Simple reason is our property sells fast. We get properties in, we sell them. We get new ones in, we sell them. Someone doesn't pay for one, we get a property back, then it resells again. Our inventory is constantly changing. The only way to actually tie up a property is to either buy it, obviously, or put down a deposit. Now, this is a refundable deposit of $100. You can click on Reserve This Parcel. And this is going to take the property off the market. No one else can get it. It happens all the time. We hear from people, I wanted to buy that, I wanted to buy it, but I went to the website and then it was sold. And that does happen frequently. So if you want something, take action, put $100 down. It's refundable. We're not here to keep $100. That is not the case. We just want to make a fair way for people who want to commit to a property to commit to it. We know you're serious, and we'll prepare the financing agreement or the sales agreement for a cash sale, whichever route you're going to go. So enter your contact information, mailing address that you would want in the sales agreement and the deed, and the credit card information. We process our payment securely through Stripe. We don't know what your credit card number is. We have no idea. It just processes $100. So you click Make My $100 Deposit. We'll get a notification. You'll get a receipt, and we're all set. That property is reserved for about 48 hours. You'll get a chance to, if you need to go look at the property, or if you just want time to review the sales agreement before moving forward, that's the next step. So that goes for this property or any other property that we have on our website. Right now, we've got properties. We've got about 28 properties in Missouri, a lot in southern Missouri near Table Rock Lake, a couple within an hour and a half of St. Louis, Washington County, and Franklin County. And then we've got a bunch out at the lake, like 7, 8 properties out in Morgan County and Camden County. We've also got properties in Arizona, Colorado, Florida, Georgia. I mean, we've got property all over the country. So go ahead, come look at our website. Like I said, our inventory is changing daily, and we'll be in touch with you soon and answer any questions you might have.